Okay, and question number two question. It seems as if BB, has been creating a means in a way to just bomb and take over land. Like Malcolm X said, wherever you find war, realize it's always about land. Al-Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz, Brother Malcolm, excuse me. So we have that to say about BB. And there's a question about how to get BB out of power. And yours truly is going to say that is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how He would choose for that, not for us to comment on that. There's another question. There's another question. Questions are quite a few, so they're going to keep coming. What are our stakes in the U.S. IDF Iranian war? Who do we support? So, a very important question. And first of all, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to really, really dwell on something here. U.S. is a very big fat bully, very big, long time liar, and Malcolm X brought the case of Negroes in America to the United Nations, and he called it for what it was. That's one of the reasons that he had to be assassinated. In the recent months, I should say weeks, the Ghanaians brought it and passed it at the United Nations. Unless the United States, because they had the majority, but I think that the United States was trying to make sure it will be, shut down. But you cannot do that forever. They were talking about, the mid-Atlantic trade, slavery being the greatest crime against humanity. Okay, today, if United States votes against that, how can that be real and how can that be true when you've had practically everyone else besides the greatest one be compensated for their atrocities against humanity, or compensated for being victims of such? Now, on top of which, it appears that United States always want to wage war. War here, war there. War. United States, why United States until today cannot learn of peace? How to just keep peace going, Today is United States, Israel, Iran. It got to that point. To where, even considering, boots on the ground. And it's not a small... It's not a casino. Mr. Trump needs to understand it's not a casino. It's not just a business where people, lose their jobs. In these cases, people lose their family members. People lose lives, actual lives, and it affects and it impacts. And then what people need to realize and consider, even today we got a report saying that the United States is now receiving a lot of resignations. United States military is not built to fight against real and true faith. Think carefully. First of all, Mr. Trump does not have any military experience, none whatsoever, not the slightest. In fact, when he had the chance to go to Vietnam and get some experience, then he ran away through his foot doctor, So and he did it twice. It's not like after his feet seem pretty good now, or unless he wants to. He's 80-something years old. I can't really speak on his feet, but the point of the matter is that Donald Trump has no military experience. Prior presidents who did have military experience decided to sit down and somehow just work out a bunch of sanctions. And they kept sanctioning the Iranians over and over and over and over and over again for 40-something years. And of course, they definitely want to claim that their assets in the region have been attacked by Iranians and their proxies. Well, what are you doing there? That's my first question. Like, why? We have everything we need in America. You're spending all this money going elsewhere. What is the point of that? In other words, if you really had in you to bring about a true change, wouldn't you do it from within? What are you doing it's the Middle East? Why must you assert your influence and your power? Why don't you just stay Europeans love Americans, Asians, Africans, but everywhere you are, it's like spending taxpayers' money. And we want our money back too. Not only reparations, but we want our money back as well. For all these taxes. We don't like American people, and I want to take this chance to compliment the likes of Miss Renee, who stand firm, and they're like, this is nonsense. Donald Trump, unfortunately, he should be out of office by now. He's committed these are actual war crimes. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable, and him portraying himself as the Pope/doctor, and it's not even something. He does not apologize for anything. He already told the world that he will never regret anything in his entire life. If he actually killed somebody on the 44th, he would still be president. He said that in the past. And, according to him, if you have it like that, you can grab women wherever you want. And then he has his wife coming out talking when he started an entire war to shift the blame from Epstein. She raises the Epstein card to shift it away from the war, it seems. But unfortunately, he just has to understand. He must understand that this is not a casino. So who are we with? We are with our Creator. We're with our Sustainer. We're with our Maker. He knows who He is better than anyone. And He's decreed for us to be with the Quranic Republic of the Shahada. We're good with the oath takers, and that's it. We're definitely and most certainly, we can't have it both ways. We are against Trump, and we want our money back. We want our money back for all these wars. All this time we've been paying taxes. Think about how much taxes go into those wars. And then we are paying on things that are already paid for. It's unacceptable. In the meantime, our healthcare system is shot. And it's strange, it's unbelievable, but that's why we are thankful that we have, the Quranic Republic of the Shahada. So economically and otherwise, by the means of our Maker, we are sustaining. But interestingly so, the sue for war has to stop. It's time to sue for peace. And any Muslim who says, anyone who's given the oath to the Creator who says so, has to realize also that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, in times of war, prepare for peace. In times of peace, prepare for war. If this really indeed is a war, we should be suing for peace, and a lot more so than suing and then starting a war in the middle of it, which Donald Trump's administration keeps doing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But the Creator has a plan, and we are sticking to that. We are afraid that time is up. We can take no more questions. Wassalam, peace and blessings be